Alright, let's see what this does. Okay, so I need to edit where I want that. I want that right there. There we go. Okay, so that works. Cool, cool. Now we have Twitch alerts set up. See? Now we have it set up so that we know when people are following and hosting. Thank you for the follow, Mr. Bringer. Thank you for following the official channel. The little rune keeper. Well, you know, Mini Skazi, I have a minstrel if you think your minstrel's up to it. He's on Gladden. It is, Elda, that is. I just needed to make sure that I had it set up correctly. I wasn't sure if I had it set up correctly, and I do. So, I need to set up CLR on my own channel because it's just so much nicer. I don't have to have the window capture up. All right. Have at ye, scallywag. Well, you know, come at me, bro. See, I had an issue with CLR until I did a complete uninstall and reinstall to try to fix my dropping issue, and now apparently CLR works. So there we go. So I need to turn this back up a little bit so you guys can hear it a little bit. Alright. Advance towards me, brethren. Level 105 Minstrel on Gladden, Mini Skazi. Anytime you want to come duel, let me know. Alright. So, are ye prepared to do the skirmish? For those of you who weren't here last week, myself and Dark Mist are doing the 3 skirmishes that you have to do in the Epic Book line in Moria. Well, no, I'm not going to do Tier 2 Challenge. That would be a bit much. You're on Evernight, right, Mini Skazi? I mean, I can make a tune and come whip ya. Let's see. Skirmishes. Non-scaling skirmishes. Battle of the 21st Hole. Oh, somebody did that to you? Did I do that to you, or did somebody else do that to you? No. I don't know that I've ever done anything on Tier 2 Challenge. I know I've done skirmishes on Tier 2 and Tier 3 before, but I don't know that I've ever done Tier 2 Challenge of things, of instances. Well, I mean, my ping's not amazing. My latency is 65, you know. Okay, good. Alright, well, if you are ready, let's go do this thing. Did you talk to Willie and picked up the quest and everything? Okay.
In the aftermath of the raid upon Zarbagoth, Mazar sets his strength against Durin's folk, assaulting many key encampments. If the 21st Hall falls, then the advantage falls to Mazar's orcs.
These dwarves are pretty whipped up. What are these? Oh, those are... okay, those are battle potions.
Victory is ours this day! Baruch Kazan!
I was actually in New Jersey last weekend, Super Frenic. Yes, I am on Gladden. Baruch Kazar Aimenu. Yeah, we might as well. .99% of my tunes are on Gladden. There is the exception of a few. I have the bird that is in the 40 Thieves kinship. I guess we're doing one of the encounters. Okay, and apparently there's a troll coming for us. Have my Berg on Brandywine. It is in the 40 Thieves. I have a level 10 Minstrel on Arkenstone. That is in the LOTRO Players Academy kinship. Because I am on the LOTRO Players Academy podcast. And I also have an Orc on Arkenstone, or a Defiler on Arkenstone for PvP. I don't know. Go ahead. See what happens. I guess we're good to go then.
Victory is ours this day! Baruch Kazan!
It's the Mines of Moria soundtrack, so it comes with it. Yes, you can be a man, but you need to be a burglar. If you can kill the Deathmonger, I'm gonna kill the Sapper. The 40 Thieves grows. The Shire Father will be pleased. Maybe he's a young dwarf.
victory is ours this day! Baruch Kazan!
Well, you gotta remember, whenever they say a young dwarf, they refer to a young dwarf as anyone 50 and younger. Where's that sapper? Had him. There he is. Yeah, Mini Skazi. It was stated that oh man, Gimli was a very old dwarf whenever he took the boat with Legolas, and he was actually pushing like 350. So he was a very old dwarf by standards, or something. I forget how old he was, but Gimli was considered a very old dwarf when he left. I'm not entirely sure how old he was, but he was considered very old dwarf. And I think like 300 was typically the max. And I don't know if he lived longer than that or not. Technically, he made it to the Undying Lands with Legolas. He didn't die anyhow, so there's that. Yeah, I can't remember. I mean, it's in the Silmarillion. It says how that he was considered. I would have to look up how old he was. I have saved somewhere a dwarvish family tree.
This day! Baruch Kazan!
And I'm not sure, but Gimli may be the only dwarf to make that trip. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure.
Victory is ours this day! Baruch Kazan!
Other side, down here. Thought it said the south end of the northern hull. Or did it say north end? No, it's down here. He was the first and only. I was pretty sure he was the only one. Excuse me. First time making a hobbit? Nice. Yeah, the falconer guys are probably the worst. The Priestess of Vengeance, I believe, they're also pretty rough because they reflect damage if you're not careful. He was 261 when he took the ship. Nice. Okay, so he was, by their standards, you know, he was a very old dwarf then. 250 is supposed to be the top, right? You know, typical maximum age for a dwarf. Just like Bilbo was 132. He outlived the old Took by 1 year before Bilbo took the ship. So Bilbo is technically the oldest hobbit to ever live. Oh, okay. So they put the debuff on the other. Okay. So you got to focus them without AoEs. Gotcha. You have a hobbit in your cellar? Nice. Okay, so I was right about the old Took and Bilbo. I knew it was 131 for one of them, and I was pretty sure the old Took was 131, and then Bilbo outlived him by a year. But Bilbo had some help. But Bilbo also didn't die. Bilbo made it to the Undying Lands. So there's that. Yeah, and make sure that was on Brandywine, Grizzly. That kinship is on Brandywine, so if you made a Hobbit burglar on another server, cool, but it needs to be on Brandywine.
Victory is ours this day! Baruch Kazad!
Baruch Kazad! Baruch Kazad Aimenu! Hello. What's up, Mortsham? Maybe I'll get to ramp up all of my skills. Man, he's got a lot of corruptions on him. I don't think. Well, I did remove one of them. He's not Maiden of Rohan. Make sure you loot the body. Who is texting me? Yeah, 1 second. My brother was texting me. Text message from the brother.
Victory is ours this day! Baruch Kazad!
Baruch Kazad! Already in use. This might be loud. Is there a cutscene here? I can't remember if there's a cutscene here. Nope, there's no cutscene here. I was about to save everybody's ears. Ooh. Alright. Finish that. Really doesn't matter. Alright. And I need a reforge. Talk to Bosi in the Chamber of the Crossroads. I do as well. Yeah, it was that one's also always an interesting one to do. Because each time you push back an assault, you have to go talk to Willie. Wiley, however you pronounce it. But that's not a typical skirmish. Typically in skirmishes, it says push back the first assault. You get a break. Then it immediately says run to the other side and push back the assault. In this one, you get to talk to him and choose when you get the next assault. Which is odd for a skirmish, and I don't know if it's because it's the first time we did it, and that we did it as the epic or not. I'm not sure. Bilbo cheated. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. You're right, Mini Skazi.
Welcome to
Khazad-dûm. Are you lost? They always ask if I'm lost. I'm not lost. What's this? I might as well actually use this. We're gonna spend that. Actually, no. Let's not use that. We'll use that on a level 65 weapon when I get one. Really? There we go. Good grief. I mean, it looks fine. On the preview, it looks fine to me. You get a little bit of loss whenever I move, but there's nothing I can do about that. Yeah, now that I think about it, it applies to up to a level 65 weapon, so I'm probably going to save that for when I eventually do Mirkwood. And I need to sneeze.
The shadow of Mordor will not long fill the halls of Khazad-dûm.
Whew, excuse me. Whew. Wow, that came out of nowhere. Yeah, pretty much, Grizzly, and that is also one of the reasons that he went to Rivendell, because the effects of the shadow of Sauron couldn't be felt in Rivendell. Or the Elrond kind of had them blocked, you know, that he couldn't feel the oppression of all of that in Rivendell. And also, Elrond may have, you know, he may have helped him. You know, Elrond was a healer, you know, so he may have eased his pain, which is entirely possible, you know. Yeah. No, I am not gonna attempt it. I am doing all of Moria. Okay, and supposedly there is a cutscene once I turn this in, so 39. Ooh. Ooh. What do these pants look like? Oh, they're hideous pants, but nice stats. Oh, those are annoying. Those are a little better. You know, all this chainmail. All this chainmail. All these dwarfs. Alright, so hang on one second. Let me turn this down.
Bori's assault upon Marzog's fortress ended in tragedy, with most of the dwarves slain and Bori himself taken captive, as well as Ziegelberg. The dwarves elsewhere in Moria repelled, though barely, the retaliation of the orcs against them. But another attack could spell doom for Durin's folk.
There we go. Let's turn that back up. Yeah, I can't stream above 1000 bitrate anymore. For some reason, Twitch does not like me if I attempt to do that. And if I use any server other than the New York City server, for whatever reason. But to answer your question, no, Temate, I am not doing Mirkwood today. I have a lot to do in Moria first. And hey, Ninth Pawn, what's up? Yes. Yeah, you're right, Miniskazi. There was that guy. See, if you watch the movies are very deceptive in that fact. You get the idea in the movies that Bilbo leaves at the party, drops the ring, and leaves the ring, and Frodo comes in, picks up the ring, and Gandalf says, "Okay, this is the ring I think it is." And meanwhile, Bilbo is headed for Rivendell. Bilbo is traveling to Rivendell. And Gandalf says, "Keep it safe. I'm going to go research this, and I think I know what this is." So he leaves, and he actually doesn't come back to get Frodo for 17 years. There's a gap of 17 years there. It's not the next, you know, it's not within a week or anything like that. Frodo waits a long time. The ring is in Frodo's possession for a long time before he actually leaves the Shire. Yeah, the movies make it seem like a really short time, but it's not. Because, let's see, Bilbo left the Shire his first time when he was 55 years old. I think it was 55. And he leaves the second time when he goes to Rivendell when he is 111. And Bilbo and Frodo's birthdays are the same day. So Bilbo leaves on his 111th birthday. Frodo, when he leaves with Sam with the ring, when Gandalf tells him to leave, he is also 55 years old. So there has to be that gap in there in time to make that work. Yeah, you're right, Miniskazi. He really does make it seem really quick in the movies. But it's not. It's not quick at all. Ouch. Gives me a bit of a buff. What do these look like? Scout's trousers. Can we dye these trousers? You know, they're not bad. Got the little knee pad things going on, which is a little odd, I admit. But I think we'll keep those. They may come in handy for some cosmetic stuffs. Yep, exactly, Miniskazi. Frodo got Bag End when Bilbo left. Yeah, Grizzly. I mean, they could have done something like a little subtitle that says 17 years later, which would have done a lot to explain things, but they really didn't. But it's okay. Talk to Haldir upon a flet southeast of the river Nimrodel. Ooh. So do we want to leave the Long Dark and go talk to Haldir? Yeah, you're right, Rave Wonder. I mean, that's what it was, yeah, so. We can. He's just gonna send us right back in here. But we can. I don't know why I ran past the goat guy. But, I mean, there's only 9 chapters in Book 6. 9 or 10 chapters in Book 6. What's up, Matt? Good evening. Okay. I mean, we can go do, like, the Flaming Deeps. We don't have to do, the epics yet. Right. I mean, yeah. It would be really nice to actually finish out everything in Moria with the final book of the epic. That would be a good way to go. So let's go to the Flaming Deeps and just start questing there, because we have the Flaming Deeps and Foundations of Stone and part of Zellan-Melek to do yet. And Nunmelek to do. So we do have a lot to do before that. So well, probably the easiest way to get there is to take that goat that is in 21st Hall that tells us to go to Orkwatch. And then we can just ride down to that passage that takes us into Flaming Deeps, because we have the quest to find the heat source. So let's go to 21st Hall. Let's go to 21st Hall, bank, repair, and then use the goat there to hit Orkwatch.
Dwarves must fight for dwarves. ancient
So
halls of
let's
Mother
sell.
lie in darkness now.
No, it really doesn't, Mini Skazi. Really doesn't. But, I mean, that's not really something that the movie could dwell on, right? I mean, they could have done it somehow, I guess. You know, somehow incorporated. See, what would have been really cool for a lore nerd like myself if they would have included the times, because like the actual dates, Tolkien was very specific about the dates. When Bilbo left the Shire, when Frodo left the Shire, when the ring made it to Rivendell, when the council happened, when they left Rivendell, you know, everything like that. He was very specific on the actual dates that all those things happened. And they could have incorporated that in the movies by putting the dates that things were supposed to happen on. But, I mean, they didn't. But, I mean, that would have been a way to do it. Because the quest to actually destroy the ring was roughly a year. Or between 9 months and a year, all told, I think, is how long. From when Frodo left till the ring was destroyed till he made it back to the Shire, I think was roughly a year-ish.
The lords of Moria have returned.
I'm not sure on that. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's about the time frame it was. Roughly. Alright. Exactly, Mini Skazi. You could put that, you know, you could put that as a subtitle at the bottom in the movies, you know. They could have done that. Yeah. Because like I said, Tolkien was very specific. He drew out the timelines very specifically. The Fellowship makes it to Weathertop. The Fellowship makes it to Rivendell. You know, things like that. No, I want to select the goat. You're not wrong, Rhaegar. Why did they spend a month there? Good grief, you know. Yeah, I mean that's fair.
These halls will be great once more.
These halls will be great once more. Can we take one of these goats, or do they only work in one direction? Which one did you take, Knack or Audi? I'm not sure, Tally. Yeah. Tolkien was very specific on the dates when these things happen. So, you know. Yeah. Alright. We are headed for the Flaming Deeps. What's up, Bacon? Good evening to you, sir. Well, good morning to you. Very early morning to you. Oh, daggone it. Don't mind me, I'm gathering shinies as we go. It's alright. I'm good. Yep, exactly, Miniscazi. Morty Bunch? Oh, that's what you're calling me now? You're gonna call me Morty Bunch now? Nice. Nice, Tally. Thank you. That completed a quest for me. Not sure I'm gonna do like those shoes or not. I do love the lore, Miniscazi.
Many foul things dwell in the depths of the mountains.
Many
I fear the
foul
orcs will be
things.
the least of our troubles.
Grading things at 2 a.m. Hang on, I gotta sneeze again. Nope, I don't have to sneeze. Literally 10 days away from the destruction of the ring? No, it was still there. I still got him. That's our update 19. Yes, yes it is. March of the King. Marches for the Black Gate. I love it. And you can bet that I will be doing that content on my Minstrel when it comes out on my own channel. I don't think so. An actual date? No, I don't think so. But if typically things are only on Bull Roar a month and a half, and then the update comes out, so relatively soon. Yep. They won't release the date until they've actually done the testing on Bull Roar and things like that. You know, but I mean, soon. It's on Bull Roar already, so it's gonna happen soon. Personally, I'm the guy that wants them to take their time, even if everybody goes, well, it was on Bull Roar a month ago. We should have it by now, dang it. I'd prefer they get all the bugs out. It says to go back. The quest tracker is saying to go back this way for the follow the sounds of battle. Is there like a body here or something? Because it says the sounds of battle abruptly end, which makes me think whoever is fighting dies, unfortunately. Yep. Elder's right. There's typically 5 builds. So, you know, there's typically month and a half of testing. Typically. But, you know, I mean, you can't get your hopes up too much for that type of stuff. Because, like I said, I'd prefer they work out all the bugs before they release it. No work tomorrow. I actually have to get up early. Wah wah. Wow, Bacon. Juice would not like that comment. That from another source? That might be accurate. I'm not sure. Tally. Oh, excuse me. What if I text her and tell her? What's up, It's a Paul? So we need one more piece of scaffold. At least I need one more piece of scaffold. Okay, I must have missed one somewhere then. It's appalling. Nope. Found it. Alright, now we need to get back to Alakazam. Nice, Mini Skazi. Yes, and as our Mecham. Can't wait to see Christmas dinner, yeah. Well, you know, the family tree is rather odd as well.
Fill the halls of Khazad-dûm. Perhaps soon we shall stand face to face with Lord.
Well, that's a crafting quest.
Welcome to Khazad-dûm. Perhaps soon we shall stand face to face with Lord Mort.
The orcs of Moria have much to account for.
The foundries of Moria now lie desolate or have fallen into misuse by the orcs.
Yeah, they have. Alright, so we have to go towards Angamru? That's the only quest I have here. Does the goat work for that? I have that quest as well, but I don't know that the goat works to go to the Crossroads of Ash or not. We'll get there eventually. Yeah, we'll eventually go to the Crossroads of Ash for questing anyhow. Let's see if the goat works. If the goat works and we can come back here, that's awesome. Doesn't work? Okay. Yeah, we probably need the quest to go to the Crossroads of Ash. Yeah, Moobot can be finicky. Okay. Alright, Rave. Have fun. Good luck. Thank you for the host, Grizzly Wookie. Use self-motivation. Oh, I must have completed that deed then. Ooh. Oh, I already know that recipe. Dang. Yeah, more than likely I'll be over there tomorrow night, Grizzly. tomorrow night, Wednesday nights is typically the nights that I do the do my 40 Thieves stuff. I can get you in as well. I am an officer. Hey JJ, what's up? I think we end up having to escort this guy out. Forget where the captain is. Apparently he's this direction though. Music's a bit loud now. There we go, jeez. Okay, Elda. See you later. Woo! Dissonance stance or melody stance? Dissonance stance. It depends, though. Are you doing DPS? Because dissonance stance is DPS. Melody stance, if you're healing. If you're doing the deeps, dissonance stance, by far. Give you the glowing hands. Blow things apart. Red line, dissonance stance, minstrel with crossover into yellow. Lots of DPS. Lots and lots of DPS. Don't think we can get there from here. Maybe it is resonance stance. I can't remember. There's one of them I don't even use. Because I'm a blue line. I go blue line for healing. Blue line resonance stance, I believe, is what I do for healing. And then dissonance red line is what I do for DPS. I mean, I could show you here towards the end of the stream if you want to see how I have my trees built. Well, if you're in dissonance stance, you're not going to be able to heal anyone but yourself. In dissonance stance, all heals are self only. Okay, we gotta go this way. You're right, Tritarius. And also, when you're doing DPS, the best idea is to kill it before it gets to you. That's the idea, Mini Skazi. Kite and blow things apart. Call of the Second Age, into Cry of the Wizards, into Call to Fate, Call of the Third Age, into... I mean, I can show you the rotation that I do to do maximum damage, and it will absolutely blow mobs apart. Yes, Bacon, the screams were real. All the mobs died as well. But yes, the screaming was real. Yeah, and in Dissonance Stance and in Redline, you're not going to have that many healing skills, Mini. That's kind of the idea. You're doing the deeps. You're not meant to tank, which is the reason that you need to blow things apart so fast. And you can do all of your damage skills while moving. So, get used to kiting. The only thing that I know about Ivan is that he... over the summer, he has a lot of things going on with the kids. So he doesn't have as much gaming time. And also that, you know, he's... he said he was coming back eventually. He just doesn't have as much time as he used to. Cook, Metalsmith, Scholar. Damn it. You're not wrong. It's pretty accurate, actually. For the time being, Bacon. For the time being. Yeah, that makes a difference at the lower levels. However, I think the highest level minstrel instrument right now is 95. And they are rep items in Rohan somewhere. Forget where they come from. Ooh, I don't know that one yet. Recipe Land. We should go. That's right. We gotta go up the steps. Yeah, and eventually there's a point where it doesn't matter what instrument you're using, the stats are all the same. No, we have a quest to kill the other guy who is up above us, I believe. Yeah, once you get up, I forget what level they started doing that at. But they eventually made it so that all the instruments have all the same stats. So you can do DPS, you know, as long as you do the DPS output of the instrument. Because there's multiple outputs now, you know, one for DPS, basically one for red, yellow, and blue. There is an output for all three lines. And they all have the same stats no matter what instrument it is. It's not instrument dependent now. Like, it used to be that drum was what you used for DPS, or cowbell was used for DPS, and therbro was what you used for healing, or a lute was what you used for healing. But they got rid of that. Yeah, there we go. Helmigus Faction Vendor and Helm's Deep, yes. Those are the highest level instruments for minstrels right now. Thank you, Brett. Level 60. Equipping my stone. Stone of the Tortoise equipped. New mail. Yes, yes, yes. It's a snazzy hat. Gathering at the gate. Head to the Crossroads of Ash. Okay, I guess we gotta get to the Crossroads of Ash then. It's telling us to go north. I don't know why it's telling us to go north. Maybe it leads us there somehow. Or the... Excuse me. Are the HD ones? What do you mean by HD? Helm's Deep ones? No, the Helm's... Okay, you know. Helm's Deep, it should be, it's just rep, with the Helmingas. You have to be a high enough rep to get the, recipes. And there are barter items. That you use to get the recipes. Um, I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if you can find them as drops. I don't think you can. I'm pretty sure you can only get them from the rep vendors. Mini Skazi.
Dark things dwell now in Moria.
If only the elves were not so stiff-necked, we might make a swift victory of this endeavor. Stay a moment. We will need your aid against the orcs of Moria. What foul and nameless things we face in Moria, I know not. May Durin return soon to his halls. Stand and speak with me. The fate of Khazad-dûm hangs in the balance.
Yep. You're right, Retirees. Those quests are for the instances, the instance cluster that's here. I believe Phil Gashin is here, Forges, and there's another one that's here as well. There's 3 of them here. Halls of Crafting might be here? I can't remember. Complete quest within the Flaming Deeps. Nice. Let's see. Wow. No, it doesn't mean we can stop. It's a solid choice, Grizzly. They're not available to be looted? Okay, cool. There's some decent looking light armor. It's just not at the low levels. Okay, there should be one up here and to our left. Somewhere there is a altar up here. I think it's an altar. Descent in the ranks. Yeah, we need to go this way. Maybe we're too far north, but I don't think we are. Maybe we are. Yeah, I think we're too far north to get to the west where that altar is, but I didn't see a way to get over to the west from here. Hmm. Interesting. Unless we need to go west and then north first. Then north. Huh. He looks all cozy in there. Excuse me. It's a very difficult place to navigate. Alright. Call of the Second Age. I don't know, Miniskazi. You can... If you go to a class trainer, you can look at skills that are above your level, but you haven't learned yet, I think. If you do show all instead of show only trainable ones. Obviously you don't need to go to a trainer anymore to learn skills, but I think you can still see the ones above your level at the trainer. I think. I can't remember. It might be far enough down in Redline that, yeah, it might be a trait point, I'm not sure. Well, you can go and look at them, Meg, but you don't have to go to the trainer anymore to learn the skills. One is like just north of here? No, I think they're still there. You just don't need to go talk to them anymore. Hey, Gussie. What's going on? Good evening to you. last altar. Thank you for the host, Midra. Thank you for the host, Ganondorf. Thank you for the host, Yuifi. Yeah, once you get Cry of the Wizards, Mini Skazi, Minstrels end up with 4 AoE skills that all do a lot of damage. Thank you for the host, Gussie. The 4 AoE skills can be used very devastatingly. Oh, it's almost bad. Well, Dime, might not be on much longer, actually. Because I have to get up early in the morning. And it is not going to be a very fun day tomorrow if I don't go to bed early. And yeah, Mini Skazi, things do die pretty quickly. I think there's some more rubble down here. Yes, there's more rubble down here. Yeah, Call of Arome, Call of the Second Age, Cry of the Wizards, and I can't remember the other one. I know what they all do, but yeah. DPS Mini is a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Things die very, very quickly. Yeah, at the end of the stream here, I'll swap over to my minstrel and show you how I do it, Mini. Well, see, that's the thing, Mini Skazi. Minstrels are really easy to level because they do such good DPS, and you can pretty much solo a lot of stuff. But the problem is, if you level very quickly and do it that way, you don't get experience healing, which is always what a group is going to ask a minstrel to do. Hardly ever are you going to find a group of people who want to take a minstrel along for their DPS, unless it's because it's an over-leveled thing and you are doing deeds, or you're way over-leveled and it doesn't really matter because nobody's going to die anyhow. Stuff like that. For burst damage, Mini Skazi, yes. I would say probably they can outburst a hunter. But sustained, not so much. You chew through power pretty rapidly as a red line minstrel. Blue line minstrel, traded correctly, healing will never run out of power.
Durin's folk will defy Durin's fate. The orcs of Moria have much to account for.
Thank you for the host, Half Pint.
The time has come to drive forth the orcs from our kingdom. Stand and speak with me. The fate of Khazad-dûm hangs in the balance.
Alright. I think that is actually where I'm going to call it tonight. Because I do want to swap over and show Mini Skazi how I have my minstrel set up. Thank you for the host, Erithard. But I am also going to attempt to go to sleep early tonight because I have to get up an hour and a half earlier than usual tomorrow morning, so that's fun. Thank you for the host, Elda. Look at all this host train. How many people are hosting now? Well, it says 5 people are hosting. Alright. Minnie gets fellowship heals. What do you mean fellowship heals? Okay. I'm just gonna go back to 21st and sell and repair and everything, and anyhow. Then we should be able to use the goat from Enezar Mecham to here, hopefully. Okay. Multi-target heals? Yes, but yes, you get you get AoE heals, fellowship heals, and actually one of your single target heals, your big single target heal will actually hit your target for a heal, and then it has a chance to, and then it will heal everyone around them as well. It's technically not a AoE heal, but it will heal people within a certain radius. And then there is a heal that will heal everybody in a radius around it as well. It's kind of funky skill. Okay, thank you. I am going to go ahead and switch. Alright, Mini Scalzi. Actually, I'm going to port to 21st Hall first. And then I will show you how I have my minstrel set up. And I forget where my minstrel is. And log out. Yeah, and see, Mini Skazi, that's the thing about a blue line minstrel. Once you ramp your anthem or your ballad up and you get your anthem, then you... Elvin Cookie 12, thank you for the host. It's more of a... Basically, the best way to do it is to keep the heal over time Soliloquy of Spirit stacked on the tank. That way the tank is healing all the time, and you keep your anthem, typically Anthem of War, up on everyone, and then Anthem of Composure on yourself. Well, Anthem of War, then Anthem of Composure, and then I forget what the other anthem is that allows you to... oh, that's right, I'm in the Burden Baby Inn. That allows you to... it reduces your cooldowns, or your induction times. Basically, stacking Soliloquy of Spirit on your tank allows you to pay attention to the other stuff, and that the tank is not going to need as much healing. Because the tank is going to take less damage to begin with because they're a tank. And typically tanks have a little bit of self-healing that they do on their own as well, which helps. And that allows you to also make sure that the squishier DPS classes don't get nuked. Like, hunters are going to take more damage than a guardian. Obviously because they're medium armor versus heavy armor. That allows you to pay attention to the health of the rune keeper, for instance, who's doing DPS as well, is light armor, so he's going to be taking, damage as well. That allows you to pay attention to the other members of the fellowship, is the way I've typically found it. And Blue Line Minstrel, everybody says, oh, Blue Line Minstrel is overhealing. I would rather overheal than let everybody die. Okay, so let's see, where can we go? Yeah, let's go to Minas Tirith. Find us a mob to kill that I can show you DPS. Yep, Kudithi's right about Triumphant Spirit. Triumphant Spirit is a massive heal. I've never healed as a yellow line minstrel, but from what I hear, it is amazing because of all of the mitigations and the buffs that you provide the group when you go yellow line. Yeah, that's a sentiment I've never understood. You're overhealing. I would rather overheal than have people die. I'm sorry. Sorry. And like I said, properly traded in Blue Line, you never lose power. You actually gain power. The return on your power versus using the skills, you gain power. As long as you're not doing the massive big heals all the time, you actually gain power. There is a way to do it. Triumphant Spirit does have a relatively long cooldown compared to the other ones. Let me see what I'm in deeps right now. No, I'm in healing stance right now. Triumphant Spirit cooldown is 45 seconds, and I can't remember how what the cooldown is on that. There's a way to reset that, I think. Yeah, Meg, back before trait trees, power was a real issue for minstrels, but now it's not. And here you go. Pause for breath in Blue Line. Pause for breath. Any healing skill grants you 125% power cost. So technically, you gain more power than you use using the skill. Yeah, Triumphant Spirit used to be a lot longer cooldown, much like Fellowship's Heart. Back in the day, yes, it was a much longer cooldown. Yep. But I run, yes, Blue Line Resonance Stance is what I run for healing. And Bolster Courage is the one that is your big heal and is your bread and butter, because it applies a heal to everybody around your target as well. Plus, Inspire Fellows does the same thing, not as big of a heal, but it grants buffs. Minus 3% incoming range damage, minus 3% tactical damage, and minus 3% melee damage. So basically, this is a buff that you can put on people, and then you hit Bolster Courage. The way I do it is you ramp up Major Ballad. You use Major Ballad 3 times. You are locked into your 3 Ballad stack. Then typically I drop Anthem of War or Anthem of Composure, depending on what you need. Anthem of War is going to allow the group to do more damage. Anthem of Composure is going to make the group more tanky, ups their resistance and tactical mitigations. If you drop Anthem of Composure, it applies to the group. You can then do Anthem of the Third Age that applies to you only and doesn't remove Anthem of Composure from the group. So you now have Anthem of the Third Age on yourself which is a 10% outgoing healing buff to you, and it reduces all your skill inductions by 25%. So that's the way you go. You ramp up your ballad, draw up Anthem of Composure, then Anthem of Third Age, continue healing. Then you refresh Composure, then you refresh Third Age. And that's the order you want to do it in. You always want to do the Anthem of the Third Age second after, so that it applies to you and it allows you to heal faster. Yeah, repaps. There's a lot of people still playing, yes. Power restore for... It applies to you. It applies a short-term power over time restore to yourself. But if you already have pause for breath, you're already going to be getting back more power than you're using whenever you do skills anyhow. And it only affects while the Anthem is active. So if you use Anthem of the Third Age, it replaces Anthem of Composure on yourself, so you don't get the power return. But let's go to Deeps. We'll go to DPS. And that was not what I wanted to do. I wanted to switch to Dissonance. Where is the Stable Master? Stable Master! Take me to the first tier. Take me to the main gate, sir. Let's go kill something. I'll show you my rotation for killing things, Mini Skazi. Dismount. Where is the main gate? It's over here. Forgot I was coming from the third tier. I'm used to coming in the main gate. Alright, let's go find a mob. Pelennor Fields burn! Alright, that'll work. He's 19 grand, that should work. Alright. Alright, basically, what you want to do is Call of Arome, because Call of Arome lowers the target's light mitigations, which means all of your skills are going to hit harder. Okay, that's the idea. Typically, this Haradrim, haha. Typically I use Call of Arome, then Piercing Cry in an attempt to stun the mob. If that doesn't stun the mob, doesn't really matter, then I go into Cry of the Wizards, then Call to Fate. So these buzzing flies. Get away from me, buzzing flies. Third Age, I don't know. Call Cry of the Valar, I'm not sure. I forget which one refreshes. Alright, here we go. This is the way you do it. Didn't hit him. Bam. Now, granted, these are level 100 mobs, and I'm level 105, but still. Soften him up, stun him, table flip, Call of the Second Age. And I have crit with Cry of the Wizards before, for 3 separate instances of 30,000 at a time. There's a 20 grand right there. So, if you use Call of Arome, it softens the mob up, and then all your skills will do more damage. Like this little Morgul scout here. Oh, Cry of the Wizards didn't do that much, but Cry of the Wizards can hit up to 8 targets at once. So you got Call of Arome, which can, well, let's see. Cry of the Valar will hit 3 targets. Call of the Second Age will hit 5 targets. Call of Arome will hit 7 targets. And Cry of the Wizards will hit 8 targets. So you have some fantastic AoEs as a minstrel. And some heavy hitting AoEs as well. Oh, didn't hit him. There we go, there's 20 grand. Which instrument am I using? Okay, I'm using my Battle Singer flute. No, there's 21. Guy holding sword upgrade out, second row, third column. Second row, third column. Second row, third column. Second row, third column. On my own bar, Call to Fate. It's grayed out. Oh, Anthem of the Third Age. Yes, yeah. Refreshes Call of the Second Age. I really don't use it that much. Because if I am doing DPS, I stack Minor Ballad, which is your damage ballad, then put Anthem of War, and then go to town on the DPS. So, I mean, all it really does, it increases the damage of your call skills, which is Call to Fate, Call of the Second Age, and Call of Arome. But you really don't need it, and refreshing Call of the Second Age doesn't really do that much for you. Anthem of Coda of Fury will do a significant amount of damage as well. If you ramp up your ballad and then use Coda of Fury, it has the potential to do a lot of damage as well. I just two-shot that guy. And to be honest, level 105 mobs are not that much more difficult for me to kill. So, you know, DPS output is fantastic on a minstrel. Oh. Must have been a little too quick on the fingers. Yep, see you later, stage 541. The only problem with using Coda of Fury is it resets your ballads. If it didn't reset your... It's typically like a finishing move is what I use it for. Because then you gotta ramp up your ballads again. Which is a pain in the buttuckus. Devastating hit with Cry of the Wizards for 22,300 points of light damage. So, that's typically the way I do it. As far as your trait points, this is how I have my red line filled out. All 3, all 3, all 3, all 2. You can skip Timeless Echoes, in my opinion, because it doesn't really do much for you. Herald's Strength is a melee skill that you can use to steal morale, and it also removes corruptions on your target, but Herald Strike is hardly ever used. The only reason I ever use it is if I absolutely need to remove a corruption from a target for some reason. And then 1 point in Coda of Fury, just so I could finish out and get the bonus down here. And then all of my other points are in yellow. Your Anthem cooldown, Anthem duration, Anthem of Composure, Tactical Mastery, and your Tactical Mitigation. And then Piercing Cry now will reflect. Grants you a short reflect buff. So it has a chance to. But that's how I have, and I am actually missing two trait points. So I technically could max out Shield and Cry. And as for healing, the skills I skip here are Inspiring Finish, it's a chance. You really don't need any more buff to your outgoing healing than what you can already get from other things. Resonant Piercing Cry. Hardly ever use Piercing Cry when you're healing anyway. The Bubble, Song of the Hammerhand, really doesn't do much for you anymore. The Bubble gets chewed through really quickly anyhow. Doesn't do much. Coda of Resonance. I hardly ever use Coda of Resonance. I forget what Coda of Resonance does. It's a big heal. And it removes all your ballads and your anthems, and it resets everything. So it's like using Coda of Fury, and it resets, except it's a big heal. Which, technically, you can heal for just as much with Bolster Courage without having to use Coda of Resonance. Doesn't really help much. Cries and Calls, you don't really need those because you're not doing those while you are healing. And then once again, I am cross-trading into Yellow Line, except this time I am going with Inspire Fellows, which is your AoE heal. It increases your AoE heal and all of the buffs and everything that it grants you. Highest crit you have is 2k. Yeah, you'll get there. You'll get there. That is what I have. And typically for my my virtues, I have Innocence, Zeal, Confidence, Idealism, and Wisdom. And the reason I have them is I have all three of the ones that grant Will, which increases your Tactical Mastery, which increases your damage in red line, and which also increases your healing in blue line. Tactical Mastery. And then I have Zeal and Innocence for the mitigations, because as a minstrel you're kind of squishy. So it's a good idea to stay alive as long as possible. There you go, man. Yeah. Just level that minstrel up, dude. Minstrels are a lot of fun. Healing a large group and healing a raid is very rewarding. It's a very rewarding thing to do. Successfully. It's very fun and it's very rewarding. So you're probably not going to get to do too much group healing as you level, but once you get to end game, that's what you're wanted for. Everybody loves a minstrel. And I would suggest playing around with blue line and yellow line and finding out which one you prefer better. Because healing in yellow line supposedly is really, really good because of the amount of group buffs and everything that you grant. I've just never done it. I've always been a blue line minstrel. Well, Mini Skazi, it really doesn't matter for your legacies for your first couple weapons because they get replaced very quickly. I really wouldn't pay too much attention for that. But if you're going to concentrate on legacies, always take the damage legacies. Because you're really not going to do that much healing until you get towards endgame anyhow. And if you do on level healing, legacies aren't going to make that much of a difference. It's going to be positioning and being on top of keeping people alive. It's not really going to come down to your legacies as much. When you get to end game is when you get the best bonuses from legacies and things like that, like your imbued weapons. Like mine is, I got tactical damage on there. Call of Arome, I got my damage dealing stick. And you got your rally cooldown legacies, your healing skills induction time legacies, soliloquy of spirit healing, all of these are more towards damage. And where is my healing stick? And here we go. I got minor ballad, healing skills induction, perfect ballad damage, which doesn't really help. But anthem duration is a fantastic one to have. That's a good one for healing. Anthem duration and things like that. So yeah, it's really nothing that you need to pay attention to. I would say leveling, pay more attention to pay much more attention to damage legacies. Don't worry about healing legacies. When you get to the point where you have level 100 or 105 weapons and you want to imbue them, that's when you should pay attention to having more than one weapon. Like one weapon that has damage legacies, one weapon that has healing legacies. That's really all that it comes down to. And you can do the same thing with books as well. But your book is... book is typically all healing things. So I run with one book as a legendary, and then two weapons that I'm hardly ever leveling up because I'm hardly ever on my minstrel anymore. So I hope that was helpful. But anyway, thank you all for coming out. Thanks for stopping by. I will be back next week on this channel at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Myself and Dark Mist will be continuing our work through Moria to do all of the quests in Moria. That is our goal. And we will be pushing through the Flaming Deeps. We're actually probably pretty close to done with questing in the Flaming Deeps. Then we need to hit Foundations of Stone, Nud Melek, and we need to finish Zella Melek. And then our very last thing that we are going to do is the last book of the epic quest lines in Moria, because the final fight in that book is fantastic. 2.6.8. Awesome fight to see. It's visually, it's very cool. And it used to be, back in the day, it was a must do. Level 60, it had to be done as a 6-man group, or you couldn't complete it, or it was very hard with any less than 6 people. But now that you can solo everything and duo everything, it's much easier. So that is the intention. I am going to log back over to my Runekeeper now. Oh no. Twitter present. Okay. Twitter present. I'm a bit scared. So, anyhow, that is the idea, is to do everything in Moria. Not a problem, Miniskazi. If you want, it's been a long time since I'm not leveling my minstrel up because I'm doing so much other things. He's already at cap. I don't have time to raid, or I would be raiding if I could, but I don't have time to dedicate and sit down and do that, unfortunately. So if you have questions about that stuff, I really can't help there. You made a second book because you're cruel to yourself with the imbuement process. It is a bit of a grind, but now Starlit Crystals and Scrolls of Empowerment are much, much easier to get than they used to be. What did you do, Maiden of Rohan? Let me see. Let me see if I can do this.
Watching you again. Yeah, it's really nothing.
Oh gosh, that's there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, Maiden. Wow. I'm now cute as a deer and as a bunny. Awesome. Awesome. Oh, man. Oh, man. That's great. Oh, I forgot to retweet, didn't I? I need to retweet that. Need to like. We need to retweet. Alright, there we go. Now we're good to go. Alright. So, I will see you all next week on this channel, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Tomorrow night, I am planning on being on my own channel. This is me up here if you need to search for me, at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. However, I don't know how I am going to feel tomorrow, because I have to get up an hour and a half earlier than usual, and I am going to be walking around on concrete all day, which I typically do not do. And these old man legs don't like that very much. So I don't know how I'm going to feel tomorrow night. But if I am on tomorrow night, I will be on my burglar on in the 40 Thieves on Brandywine, continuing to do the Shirefather's work. So I will. That is where I will be tomorrow night. Thank you all for coming out. Stick around. Half an hour. Maiden of Rohan, Miss Creepy Bunny herself over here, will be right here on this channel. So stick around, go take a bio break, go stretch, go get a new drink, refresh your beverage, whatever you need to do. Grab a snack, come back, and 30 minutes Maiden of Rohan will be right here. So thank you all for coming out. Thank you for the hosts. We did have a follow for the official channel tonight as well. That is awesome. Thank you very much. I will see you all later, and good night.